If you want to connect MySQL database with your Python Flask web application, well, in this video, I'll show you how to do this, and let's get started. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is we need to create a database, right? So I actually have two videos showing you how to install and how to use MySQL on both Windows and Linux. So make sure to check these videos out first before you do anything. Then what you just need to do is log into your MySQL shell. So just basically MySQL-u root-p, put your password in my case it's just administrator, and I do recommend remembering this password as we actually need it to connect our database with Flask. And what we just need to do is we need to create our database inside this MySQL shell. So if you write create database, right, which is, as the name suggests, it creates the database. So let's just call it FlaskDB. You can call it whatever you want. It doesn't really matter, but I would recommend something that describes your project. So then later on, you actually know what you're handling, right? And then just put a semicolon at the end. Then if you just write show databases, which will show you all databases, and as you can see, these are all my databases and FlaskDB is right here, which just confirms that our database has been successfully created. Then you can actually exit. So if you just write exit, and then what we can do is we can actually connect our Flask web application to MySQL. Now, before we get started, there is just three things we need to install. This is important because MySQL and Python have some kind of problem. You need to install 3 libraries and one of these libraries will work. So all these commands will be available in the description down below on my website. So if you just paste these into your terminal, one of these, like I said, will work. I've had problems between devices where the same connector does not work and nothing changed, right? So like I said, install 3 of these and one of these has to work, right? So install all of these, there we go. Then what we just need to do is we just need to specify the database configuration. So host, because I'm serving this database on the same computer that I'm programming this all on, so just localhost, right? Localhost means the same computer. Root, so root is my user, so root, password, administrator, then your database, right? I'm just going to put FlaskDB. Remember how I said to keep it something that describes your project? Well, there you go, right? FlaskDB, right? Okay. Now, basically, once you do this, your database has been connected, but there's nothing happening because we actually need to tell the program to, for example, return all users. So we're going to do this right now. So let's write app.root and just put as index or wherever you want it. I'm just going to put it as index, right? So /. Okay. Then def show users. Okay. So basically, it shows all users. And then we're just going to connect the database with we're going to connect MySQL with our Python Flask web application. So con, so equals basically it's a connection. So mysql.connector.connect. And we're going to put 2 stars DB configuration. So this obviously, as you can see, it connects this with that. Then if you do cursor, now cursor is basically a sort of, basically a service that will return queries for us, right? As you'll see in a second. Then what we just need to do is cursor, right? .execute. So here is where you specify your SQL query. So I'm going to do select star, which means everything, from users, right? There we go. Then if you do users equals cursor.fetch all. Fetch all fetches all requests. You can actually do fetch one as well. As you can see, fetch one. But I'm just going to do fetch all so we can actually see how the whole database works and stuff like that. Then if you just do cursor.close, which is very important, whenever you open something, you need to always close it to prevent issues later on. Connection.close, so it closes the connection. And then what we just need to do is we need to return all of this in a template, all right? So let's just do index.html. I actually have it written, as I'll show you in a second. I'm not going to write HTML on the video. There we go. And then just the basics for Python Flask. Let me actually just copy this. I'm not going to write it out. Right, there we go. I'm just copying. I'm not going to write this out. Come on. Who writes this? Now we're nearly finished. There is just a couple of things that we need to do. So if you actually paste this from my website, this just basically creates the table. right? Make sure that obviously you get it correctly. Now, why should you not write this out by hand? First of all, it is annoying. Second of all, you need to get the words correctly. And overall, I would just recommend pasting it. If you want to write it out, that is completely up to you. You can also paste this into your MySQL shell, as I'll show you in a second, because we actually need to enter some data. Now, the table will actually be created upon starting this program, but we actually also need to get some data. So I'm actually just going to get some data from my website. And then if you just go to MySQL shell and you just paste this, right? Let me just make the terminal bigger. So basically, if you just paste this data, right, and put a semicolon at the end, what this will do is it basically has just entered some data into the table. So now if you write a simple SQL query from users, right, as you can see, the data has been returned, which means everything is working fine. And we can just basically go back to programming. Now, just the final thing that we need to do is we just need to write a simple HTML template so it displays all our users. Now, you actually don't have to do this, but I do recommend it as it just looks nicer. Now, one important thing, whenever you're trying to return or display data in a HTML template or on a website, it is important that you always pass the data to your HTML template like I have right here, right? Return rendered template, your template and data. It is important that you do this, as you can see users, right? So users is the fetch all. So basically that's the data that's going to be returned. It is important that you pass it to the HTML template because without this, it's not going to work. Why am I saying this? Why am I like noting it so much? The reason is because I always forget about this and then I'm like confused. Why is it not working? So that's why I'm saying always remember to pass the data to the HTML template. Then if you just go to templates, right? Index.html, and basically what we just need to do is we just need to display the data, right? So if you just write table, right? Then if you write tr, th, right? And then just write id. So these are the table headers, right? And then just write name, right? If you have more headers, right? So remember how I told you id and name, right? So as you can see how this is connected, id and name. If you don't want to display all of them, that's fine, but I do recommend just basically writing it out. So ID, name. Then what you just need to do is write TR again, and then TD, right? So this is the actual results that are going to be returned. And then if you just write bracket, user, let's do 0, right? Then bracket at the end, so to close this, and then again, same thing, but this time we're actually going to write it out with a user 1, right? So this displays their next result. And then I actually forgot about one thing. Under TR, you need to write the following: percentage for user and users, right? And then a percentage sign at the end. And also under TR, remember to write percentage and for. This is basically just a Jinja engine requirement. You actually don't need to write this, as this is a for loop, right? This is important because this will loop all the users in your database. So if you have 100, 5,000, it doesn't matter because the whole loop will return all. Now, if you wanted to remove the ID section, right, what you just need to do is remove the headers, right? So let's remove the ID section. Now, let me just explain one thing. In the database, right, let me just show you. In the database, there is a column. Then ID is the first column and the name is the second column, right? These are just the headers of your table, right? Column. So ID is the first column and the name is the second column. However, in the program, it says 0 and 1. Because in computing science, 0 is also a number, right? So what we just need to do is we just need to remove the 0, right? And this will actually remove it. So if I refresh it, as you can see, it has removed it. If I switch it to 0, as you'll notice, it basically has changed to ID. If there was an email, I would set it to 2, but it won't work because I don't have an email column or this third column, right? I hope you guys understand this. It is not that difficult. It is actually very, very simple, right? As you see, I will change it to 1 again, and bam, bam, it is changed to names, users. Now, if you just refresh your basically website, I do recommend to refresh it. There we go. And if you actually go to your website, one bam bam, all users in a database, right? So if I actually go and get another user, so let me actually just add one more, right? So I've basically just added another query, and if I refresh, as you can see, it has basically just it basically has added automatically, so we don't need to do anything. And you can obviously change this. If I actually change it to, let's say, subscribe to, I don't know, to you, I don't know, I just made anything. As you can see, it automatically refreshes because we have a for loop, right? That's why I said it's very important that you do that, because it automatically will display all results, right? And that's basically it. That's how you connect your database in Flask. It is not that difficult. Like I said, all of this code will be available on my GitHub and on my website, which you can just download easily or copy or do whatever you want. I will also write explanations, so just in case you want to change something, I will obviously tell you how to do that. So yeah, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. If you would like to support me, you can do that through the memberships. And yeah, thank you for watching, and peace.